he told me that women don't apologize and women can't be held accountable. And I began to really think deeply about this idea. And one of the things that came across my mind is,
what's going on, everyone? This is your man, Brandon Geo, one half of Residual Impact. And yo, check it. It's the end of August 2024. And there is a video that has resurfaced online that has some people talking about it again like it was just published. Now, this was a viral video that came out last year, and we actually covered this video back in October 2023. But yeah, man, it has some people talking. So check this out.
So I was talking to a male friend of mine the other day, and he told me that women don't apologize and women can't be held accountable. And I began to really think deeply about this idea. And one of the things that came across my mind is, in the last 9 months or so of me being in my private practice, I have myself experienced many women, whether they came in as a couple or they came by themselves, they very abruptly discontinued their therapy. And I started to reflect and really think, what was going on here? And I noticed that after I had to confront them about something, I had to bring to their attention something they were doing that wasn't contributing to the health of the relationship, they became very defensive and very, just very harsh, and they stopped coming. And even though the husband would continue to come, he made it very clear that, yeah, she won't apologize. She thinks you're wrong. She thinks you're taking my side. And I began to really reflect, like, oh my gosh, is it true that women don't apologize? Is it that women struggle with being held accountable? I'd love your thoughts on this. Me personally, I think it has to do with a person's level of emotional maturity. What do you think?
This video was reposted by SpiritualWord, and they put up a poll. The poll said, yes, women struggle with being held accountable. And the other selection says, no, women don't struggle with accountability. And out of 22.5 thousand votes, 89% of voters said, yes, women struggle with being held accountable, whereas 11% said, no, women don't struggle with accountability. Now, this is interesting because for years, different men's platforms, different men's spaces have said things like accountability is women's kryptonite, or women don't like to hold themselves accountable, women don't like to say sorry, whatever the case may be. But have the things that men have been saying for years on these platforms finally resonating with not just the men who watch, but with the women as well? Because if you think about it, the fact that 89% of voters said that women struggle with accountability, that's way more than the majority. This is 89% we're talking about. So, hey, let's get into these comments, shall we? One user said, do we really need a professional to tell us this? Another user commented and said, most women are old children. Another user said, accountability can save a lot of relationships. Another user said, we been knew this. Men have been saying this since 5000 BC. Another user said, I'm a woman and it's true. Look at all of the women that are bothered by the truth in the comments. You won't keep a man with that type of attitude either. So let's look at some of the women in the comments that she's talking about. First example comes from a woman who says, girl, take accountability for them eyebrows. I get so tired of women, men, boys, girls, dogs, and cats saying what, I'm guessing a woman, does and doesn't do. Next subject. With 1,137 likes, somebody immediately responded to her and said, congratulations, you just helped prove her point. Responding with insults instead of articulating your point is always a sign that you can't handle the truth. Somebody else commented and said, we bet. Typical response from someone unaccountable. Someone else said, the hit dog holla. And then a woman came behind that in this thread and said, all she said were, what are your thoughts? With the dazed emoji. Point proven, LMAO. Another woman said, I love accountability, discernment, and being self-aware. Another woman commented and said, I think sometimes women are guilty of listening defensively, not listening to understand what the other person is saying. We take a partner's grievance as criticism oftentimes. I'm guilty of it and have worked on it. Accountability is everything. So again, I just wanted to read the comments just to show that people are really waking up to this. People are really acknowledging this. Men have been saying this stuff for years. And now, again, some women are acknowledging it.
This is why women refuse to accept accountability and would rather cry, walk away, walk out the room, block his number, whatever, because we rather do that than take accountability. Right. This is the part men don't understand. Attention is attention. Attention is attention. So whether it's good attention, whether it's bad attention, as long as we are the center of it, it doesn't really matter. All of that emotional spiraling is because it gets us attention.
Ego is really big for us. Like women are very egotistical. We tend to allow our heads to get so big, and society has allowed it too. Yeah. We are now comfortable being the captain. We're not comfortable being someone that's sitting behind the captain or a co-captain. Yeah. We want to be the captain. Yeah. With stipulations that not all captain duties I have to have. Yeah. Like you want to be the man, but you don't want to build anything. Right. You don't want to fix anything. Right. You don't want to actually do the hard labor things that men will do in order for you to have what men produce. Right.
So why do women today want to be so separated?
But because society has shaped us to believe I can do bad all by myself.
Yeah. The slogan.
And let me tell you, and it's I'm all for women empowerment. Shout out to you. You should have your own. You should be able to sustain yourself. You should be able to be an independent woman. However, it should not allow you to be cold and bitter to the ways that the Lord has ordained us to be. Yeah. He did not make us to do this work by ourselves. Yeah. And so the fact that society has rearranged what biblically was set for us as the foundation, and we coming from someone's rib, now we want to be apart from that so bad.
Sitting your ego to the side is hard, but it has to be connection over ego. So the way that I apologize is not the way that baby likes to be apologized to. Baby likes verbal apologies, okay? The way that I was raised, my whole family can just give an apology through action, okay? But that didn't work, not in this relationship. Any relationship prior to this, it did work. But baby requires a verbal apology, and that's his requirement. We all come into relationships with boundaries, requirements, rights, whatever it may be. So that was no problem. The problem was my ego. My ego wanted to stick with what was familiar, and what was familiar to me was the way that I apologize through actions. But it was so much more important just to simply connect and hear baby out. So I had to give a verbal apology in order for us to continue and move forward, because without that verbal apology, we were spiraling downhill, because that was his requirement. But my ego would not allow me to do it. So we had a talk, and I apologized, of course, verbally. I gave that verbal apology, and I made it my point to make sure that whenever we have any types of downs or anything that requires an apology, that I am not reverting back to what it is that I knew by apologizing through action, but simply giving him a verbal apology, because I would rather be happy than to suffer. I don't have to be right all the time. This is me as a woman saying I don't have to be right. I don't have to be right all the time. And we both are prideful. We are. But ego can kill a relationship, and I'm not letting my relationship die.
This is a sincere apology for all the men out there who have had to land at the brunt of the attack when it comes to these women who don't apologize or take responsibility for themselves. I'm sorry for disrespecting you. I'm sorry for belittling you. I'm sorry for hurting you. I'm sorry for not listening when you needed me to listen the most. I'm sorry for blaming you. I'm sorry for not apologizing. I'm sorry for not taking responsibility for my actions. I'm sorry for not allowing you to hold me accountable. I am sorry for verbally abusing you, psychologically and emotionally abusing you. I'm sorry for going to sleep angry when I should have worked it out with you. I'm sorry for false forgiveness, meaning that I said I forgive you and I brought it up again and again. I'm sorry for being reckless with my mouth. And I'm sorry that this apology took so long, because you deserve to be respected. You deserve to be cared for. You deserve to know that you matter and that you are worth it. I am sorry.
So what do you guys think? Are men's talking points finally starting to be heard? Are we finally starting to be listened to? Fellas, comment down below. Let me know. Ladies, if you're watching this too, I would love to hear from you. I don't know why that rhymed. I definitely wasn't trying to do that. But if you guys are watching, if y'all made it this far, please drop a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Let's keep this discussion going. Definitely, if you made it this far and you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button as well. Don't forget to click that notification bell, because you never want to miss when we upload a new video for you. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so we greatly appreciate everyone who's been subscribing so much lately, and it just means a lot to us. So thank you. We want to say thank you for sure. You know, we greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Again, I can't thank you enough. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, you know we cannot leave without saying, where you are today is the residual outcome of the thoughts you had in the past. Till next time, peace.